Okay guys, now we do matching type of questions. How many names are there in list of people? There are 3 names. And how many questions? 4 questions. Now that means one name may be used twice, or there can be any name which will not be used. That is also possible. But usually they use all the names, but one name will be used twice. It can be any name. Okay. By the way, for this matching type of questions, you should keep in mind questions are not in passage order, but the names which are written, they are in passage order. In the passage, first of all, you will find Ben Novak. Now, can you see where Ben Novak is? Exactly. First paragraph, Ben Novak. Yeah, geneticist Ben Novak. Let's read about him. Let's read this together. Geneticist Ben Novak is lead researcher. Now, you got to focus his statement, because you have to match the statement with the name. If they introduce him, if they tell you where he works, what he does and all that, just ignore that. Focus his statement, whatever he says. And usually the statements are in inverted commas. Sometimes they are without inverted commas as well. When they say Ben says, Ben argues, anything like that. So let's move on. Researcher on ambitious project which now aims blah blah blah, and after that to bring the bird back to life through a process known as de-extinction. The basic premise involves using cloning technology to use the DNA of extinct animals, now focus this, into fertilized embryo which is carried by the nearest relatives still in existence. In this case, the abundant band-tailed pigeon before being born as a living, breathing animal, right? And then they say passenger pigeons are one of the pioneering species in this field and all that. Now basically they have mentioned geneticist Ben Novak is lead researcher, and then whatever they mentioned about DNA of extinct animal into a fertilized embryo and all that. Now go back and see if there is anything extinct animal, fertilized, abundant band-tailed pigeon and all that. If you find anything. Question number?
25.
Just try again. 23? Okay. You said 23? All right, let me tell you one thing. Listen now. There is no answer here. I tell you why. Because the word Ben Novak is also mentioned on page 41 in paragraph D. Okay, and one more thing, let me tell you, they did not give any statement of Ben Novak. Did you notice one thing? There isn't any statement. Statement is Ben says, Ben argues, Ben finds out. Now come to paragraph D, third line, explains Novak. Now read before where there is a full stop. Okay, for us, can you see inverted comma? For us, I'm reading from second line, paragraph D. For us, the goal has always been replacing the extinct species with a suitable replacement, explains Novak. Again inverted commas. When it comes to breeding, band-tailed pigeons scatter and make maybe 1 or 2 nests and all that. Now please come to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th line. By thousands of passenger pigeons wrecking trees and branches means there has been minimal need for regrowth. Now this is all his statement. Now go back and see if there is any question that matches with that. Focus the word trees and branches. Trees and branches, that means vegetation. Exactly. So question number 25. And what is that? A species brought back from extinction could have an impact, important beneficial impact on the vegetation. And what do they say here? They say ecosystem in the eastern US have suffered as the lack of disturbance caused by thousands of passenger pigeons wrecking trees and all that. So if they come back, it's got some impact. So question number 25, the answer is A. Is that clear? Now, the second person is Michael Archer. Now you need to look for Michael Archer, B. Found Michael Archer? In paragraph B. Okay? Now please come to that. Now look here. They have written explains Michael Archer. Now look here. The statement comes before that. So you will find inverted commas before that. There is no, found it? Third line. Paragraph B, third line. There is no carnivore now in Tasmania that fills the niche which thylacines once occupied, explains Michael Archer of the University of South Wales. Read on. He points out, again Michael Archer, he points out that in the decades since the thylacine went extinct, there has been a spread in a dangerously debilitating facial tumor syndrome which threatens the existence of the Tasmanian devils. Syndrome, facial tumor syndrome. Now go back and see which heading, which statement. This syndrome, health syndrome, just see if there is anything like that. Facial syndrome. It is 23. 23 says reintroducing an extinct species to its original habitat could improve the health of a particular species living there. Now health of a particular species living there, for that they use the word that syndrome and all that. So for 23, the answer is Michael Archer. So you will just write B. Is that clear? You are doing academic IELTS reading, okay? So if it is not clear, I would advise you all to repeat this test when you go back. How to repeat the test? The answer to question number this is this. How? Focus, read again, read the question again, read the passage again, and then you will find. Now the third one is Beth Shapiro. Did you find him anywhere? Okay, in paragraph C, Beth Shapiro. Now let's read. Again, they have mentioned him in the middle, says Beth Shapiro, and then inverted comma closed. Let's read it from second line at the end. The idea, got it? The idea of de-extinction is that we can reverse this process, bringing species that no longer exist back to life, says Beth Shapiro. Now go back and see if there is any option. If you don't find any idea, then let's read on. Beth Shapiro of University of California Institute. I don't think that we can do this. I don't think so that we can do this. It is? 26 is our current efforts at preserving biodiversity are insufficient. That's right. It's 26. Let's see if there is any other option. There is no way to bring back something that is 100% identical to a species that went extinct a long time ago. All right. Do we find this word Beth Shapiro anywhere else in the passage? Where? In paragraph F, yeah. Now let's come to that. Right? At times they do this as well. So explains Shapiro. Let's go back. Many of the technologies that people have in mind when they think about de-extinction can be used as a form of genetic rescue, explains Shapiro. She prefers to focus the debate on how this emerging technology could be used to fully understand. Now, does this match with any of the options? By the way, we are left with how many questions? One question. So what is that? We are left with 24. We are done with 23 and 25 and 26. 24 is, it is important to concentrate on the causes of animal extinction. All right, come to last 2-3 lines, please. Same paragraph F, last 2-3 lines. I would also say there is an incredible moral hazard to not to do anything at all. She continues, we know that what we are doing today is not enough, and we have to be willing to take some calculated and measured risks. 24 is actually this. It is important to concentrate on the causes of animal extinction. And 26 is our current efforts at preserving biodiversity are insufficient. That is 26 actually. Both are? Almost the same, yeah. So, 24 and 26, the right answer is going to be C. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now look here. All you need to do, if they mention one scientist at 2 points, you need to find those points. That is why it's a very good idea. In half a minute, you read ABC first. For example, Ben, Michael, Beth. Now, in the passage, find Ben, Michael, Beth. And by the way, they will not use the first name. They will use the last name. Novak, Archer, Shapiro. So, you need to see wherever these names are written. And one more thing, you should have at least 2 to 3 different marks. One is underline. Now, when it comes to the names of the writers, you can encircle or you can put brackets so that you could easily identify. So, wherever the names are, number one, and with the names wherever there are inverted commas, you should go there, read those statements, and then you can match them here, right? That's going to take some time, but you need to do it.